Sir, cashier card. Sir, pin. Sir, cashier card.
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
Sir, your bill. Sir, PIN number? Incorrect PIN, sir. Sir, your bill.
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
$473. Cash or card? $473. Cash or card?
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
जागती क्यों रात भर खुशियाँ लाकर मैं कैद क्यों मुस्कान का फेस सैड क्यों गहनों की दमक से रोशन कर चढ़ अरमानों की सीढ़ी चढ़ अरमानों की सीढ़ी सोने की चमक से पूरी कर सपनों की सीढ़ी।
फेडरल बैंक का डिजी गोल्ड ओवरड्राफ्ट एक अनोखा गोल्ड लोन प्रोडक्ट जहां आप विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं अपने सोने की कीमत का 75% तक अपनी मर्जी से। अब ए से अरमान हो घर सजाने के या बी से बिजनेस शुरू करने के ख्वाब, सपनों की हर ABCD होगी पूरी फेडरल बैंक डिजी गोल्ड ओवरड्राफ्ट के साथ।
Do more with your savings with Federal Bank. Now you can open an account of your choice anytime from anywhere. Enjoy exclusive discounts at restaurants. Get cashback every time you shop. Enjoy numerous offers every week. Use any bank's ATM any number of times for free. Debit card EMI, tap to pay contactless cards. Exclusive offers on your debit cards. Mobile banking, net banking and so much more only with Federal Bank. Your perfect banking partner.
Sir, cashier card. Sir, pin. Sir, cash या card?
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
Sir, your bill. Sir, pin number? Incorrect pin, sir. Sir, your bill.
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
$473 cash or card? $473 cash or card?
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
क्यों बेसबर जागती क्यों रात भर खुशियाँ लॉकर में कैद क्यों मुस्कान का फेस सैड क्यों गहनों की दमक से रोशन कर चढ़ अरमानों की सीढ़ी चढ़ अरमानों की सीढ़ी सोने की चमक से पूरी कर सपनों की सीढ़ी।
फेडरल बैंक का डिजी गोल्ड ओवरड्राफ्ट एक अनोखा गोल्ड लोन प्रोडक्ट जहां आप विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं अपने सोने की कीमत का 75% तक अपनी मर्जी से। अब ए से अरमान हो घर सजाने के या बी से बिजनेस शुरू करने के ख्वाब, सपनों की हर ABCD होगी पूरी फेडरल बैंक डिजी गोल्ड ओवरड्राफ्ट के साथ।
Do more with your savings with Federal Bank. Now you can open an account of your choice anytime from anywhere. Enjoy exclusive discounts at restaurants. Get cashback every time you shop. Enjoy numerous offers every week. Use any bank's ATM any number of times for free. Debit card EMI, tap to pay contactless cards. Exclusive offers on your debit cards. Mobile banking, net banking and so much more only with Federal Bank. Your perfect banking partner.
Sir, cash या card? Sir, pin. कैश या कार्ड?
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
Sir, your bill. Sir, PIN number? Incorrect PIN, sir. Sir, your bill.
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
$473 cash or card? $473 cash or card?
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
क्यों बेसबर जागती क्यों रात भर खुशियाँ लाकर मैं क्या
$473 cash or card? $473 cash or card?
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal Bank.
क्यों बेसबर जागती क्यों रात भर खुशियाँ लाकर मैं कैद क्यों मुस्कान का फेस सैड क्यों गहनों की दमक से रोशन कर चढ़ अरमानों की सीढ़ी चढ़ अरमानों की सीढ़ी सोने की चमक से पूरी कर सपनों की सीढ़ी।
फेडरल बैंक का डिजी गोल्ड ओवरड्राफ्ट एक अनोखा गोल्ड लोन प्रोडक्ट जहां आप विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं अपने सोने की कीमत का 75% तक अपनी मर्जी से। अब ए से अरमान हो घर सजाने के या बी से बिजनेस शुरू करने के ख्वाब, सपनों की हर ABCD होगी पूरी फेडरल बैंक डिजी गोल्ड ओवरड्राफ्ट के साथ।
Do more with your savings with Federal Bank. Now you can open an account of your choice anytime from anywhere. Enjoy exclusive discounts at restaurants. Get cashback every time you shop. Enjoy numerous offers every week. Use any bank's ATM any number of times for free. Debit card EMI, tap to pay contactless cards. Exclusive offers on your debit cards. Mobile banking, net banking, and so much more only with Federal Bank. Your perfect banking partner.
Sir, cashier card. Sir, pin. Sir, cashier card.
No swiping, no typing, no counting. Just tap and away you go. Introducing contactless cards from Federal.
Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 90th Annual General Meeting of the Federal Bank. Request all participants to please stand up for the national anthem.
Over to you, Mr. Samir.
Okay, thank you. I'm Samir Rajdev, Company Secretary of the bank. I'm attending the meeting from the FKTC VC room of the bank based in Aluva. Hope all of you are safe and well. In these challenging times, we are conducting the AGM of the bank through video conferencing rather than the usual AGM at the venue. Please note that all the shareholders joining this meeting are by default put on mute for the smooth and seamless conduct of the meeting. If the members face any issue in participation in the AGM, they are requested to contact the helpline number of NSDL given in the AGM notice. Please also note that the relevant registers like Register of Directors and KM, Register of Contracts, Arrangements and other documents required under the Companies Act are open for inspection by the members. We will be able to provide email copies based on request. Now I cordially invite Madam Grace Koshi, Chairperson of the bank, who is attending the meeting from her residence in Trivandrum, to preside over the meeting and address the shareholders. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Samir. Good morning to all our shareholders, board members, and other officials of the bank who are attending the 90th Annual General Meeting of the bank. As the requisite quorum is present, I now call the meeting to order. Before we continue, I would like to request our participants for a few moments of silence in honor of all those who have departed from this world. And we request you to also remember them and their grieving families. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You may be kindly seated. Now, may I request our directors to introduce themselves? Mr. Balagopal.
Greetings to all shareholders. I am Balagopal Chandrasekhar from Devara, Kochi.
Good everyone. I am Abhay Prasad Hota, joining this AGM from Mumbai. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. This is Balakృష్ణ Krishnamurthy joining the meeting from Mumbai. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Sudarshan Gupta joining from Navi Mumbai. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. This is Manoj Padnas joining from Indore.
Good morning, everyone. This is Sudarshan Sen joining this AGM from my residence in Mumbai.
Varsha ma'am, you are on mute.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Varsha Purandare joining the AGM from Pune.
Good morning. This is Shyam Srinivasan
joining from our training center in Alua.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ashutosh Khajuria. I'm joining this meeting from Mumbai.
Good morning, everybody. This is Shanti Warrior. I'm joining the AGM from my office in Alua. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Harsh Duggar here, joining from Chennai.
Good morning, everybody. This is Venkatraman. I'm joining this meeting from the office in Alua.
Thank you, one and all. It is now my very pleasant duty to extend a warm welcome to all our shareholders who've joined us for today's AGM. The bank is conducting the second virtual AGM considering the pandemic in compliance with the applicable MCA guidelines. The bank has provided the facility to all the shareholders of the bank to cast their votes electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice through a remote e-voting from July 6th to July 8th. Shareholders who have not cast their votes electronically through remote e-voting and who are participating in this meeting have an opportunity to cast their votes during the meeting through e-voting system provided by NSDL, as per the details mentioned in the AGM notice. The Board of Directors have appointed C.S. Shivakumar P., Practicing Company Secretary, as a scrutinizer to supervise the e-voting process. The result of the voting of all resolutions would be announced by the bank within the regulatory timelines and would be made available on the bank's websites of BSE and NSE and the NSDL website. The resolution shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to receipt of requisite number of votes. The notice covering the 90th Annual General Meeting and Annual Report have already been circulated to all the members, and hence the resolutions for the 13 agenda items as set out in the notice of Annual General Meeting are taken as read. The shareholders are requested to note that the exchanges had asked the bank to make an additional disclosure on item number 13 to approve the issuance of equity shares on preferential basis. This additional disclosure relates to identity of the natural persons who are the ultimate beneficial owners of the shares proposed to be allotted. Accordingly, the shareholders are requested to note that there are no natural persons who are ultimate beneficial owners, who exercise control or ultimately have a controlling ownership interest of 25% or more of the shares or capital or profits of the three allottees, which is IFC, SEBI registered company, Class 1 FPI, and IFC Financial Institutions Growth Fund LP, which is known as FIG, and IFC Emerging Asia Fund LP, otherwise EAF, who are registered as Category 1 FPIs with SEBI. Category 2 FPIs with SEBI. IFC is a multilateral financial institution set up by virtue of its Articles of Agreement among its member countries, including the Republic of India. FIG and EAG are managed by IFC Asset Management Company, a division of IFC, which is described above, is a multilateral financial institution. Further, please note that Ms. Ruth Horowitz is the head of the IFC Asset Management Company and the chair of the investment committee of FIG and EAF. The shareholders are requested to note that there were no qualifications, observations, or comments on the financial statements or matters which had any adverse effect on the functioning of the bank mentioned in the auditor's report. Good morning, shareholders. I have now the privilege to to broadly set out before you what we have achieved during the year that has just gone by. We are attending the bank's 90th AGM, our second online AGM since the onset of the pandemic. It is my privilege to participate in this meeting as the chairperson of your bank. Since we met a year ago, we have remained in the throes of successive waves of the pandemic, leaving many in the midst of grief and pain. We had just expressed our solidarity with all those who have lost their loved ones and prayed for the speedy recovery of those who are still battling the infection. Once again, we gratefully acknowledge your presence with us today in these trying times. The pandemic and the resulting lockdowns or restrictions have taken a heavy toll on the Indian economy. 7.3 contraction in GDP in FY21, as per the provisional estimates of the National Statistical Office, is a matter of concern. A rebound to 9.3% growth has been projected for FY22 by Moody's Investor Services. But this agency has also said that risks to India's financial sector have been heightened by the second wave of the pandemic. The banking sector especially has a harder task at hand because bankers, as you know, have the dual responsibility of shaping the economic recovery as well as helping customers rebuild their financial health. They must achieve those goals while also maintaining of banks, monitoring the emerging situation and deploying all the resources at its command for individuals, businesses and institutions. The economic impact of the pandemic as a result has been considerably cushioned. Continued stimulus support by RBI and the Government of India, which has made several policy interventions in FY21, could give a further fillip to the growth of the banking sector. Against the backdrop of the challenging macro environment, I am happy to share your bank's excellent performance on both financial and non-financial metrics for the year under review, which is Q4 of FY21 proved to be one of the best quarters in terms of bank's performance. Your bank recorded its highest ever quarterly net profit, coupled with nearly 59% year-on-year growth. I am proud to say that as a banking organization, we relentlessly pursue multifaceted improvements that would support a strong recovery and serve the interests of our stakeholders better. During the year under review, the bank delivered exceptional numbers, led by the twin focus on digital enablement and people empowerment, supported by operational strength. Total business crossed the landmark figure of rupees 3 lakh crore, registering over 10% growth. Net interest income grew 19% year-on-year to touch rupees 5,534 crore. Annual operating profits showed a growth of 18% over the previous year. Low GNPA and NPA put us among the top-tier commercial banks in terms of credit quality, while efforts of our teams across functions put collection efficiency above 95% as on March 31st, 2021. We believe these numbers tell a story that goes beyond efficient cost management and fiscal prudence. It is a story of the power of collective resilience and agility. Our workforce went the extra mile to support the bank's business continuity plan, activated immediately after COVID-19 broke out. I thank my colleagues on the board for being steadfast in their pursuit of excellence in governance and for providing all-round dynamic leadership. I take this opportunity to heartily congratulate our MD and CEO, Mr. Shyam Srinivasan, for a year that has seen the recognition of his exceptional leadership. He has been conferred the Business Standard Banker of the Year 2020 award. It is an outstanding recognition for him and also for a bank that has earned and retained the faith of its investors and depositors while meeting all required regulatory standards. Federal Bank won numerous awards in the last fiscal, including the Best and Fastest Growing Bank, award in the mid-size category presented by Business Today and KPMG, Private Sector Bank of the Year by Outlook Money. The bank also received the Great Place to Work certification. All of these reflect our deep-rooted strengths and the relevance of our strategy in these testing times. Above all, we are greatly encouraged that our ESG, environment, social and governance initiatives are gathering momentum, and the fact that we feature among the top 25 companies in CRISIL's ESG rankings augurs well. This denotes our preparedness for the future as ESG is playing a material role in the decisions of governments, regulators, investors, and finally, going ahead, it will determine how our society progresses. The motto of the bank has been connected always. Moving towards the goal of being the first choice in India's private sector, banking sector, your bank has the mantra of staying connected with customers always. This commitment did not waver during the disruption caused by the pandemic. Our dedicated people made a difficult transformation appear seamless. On behalf of the board, let me convey our heartfelt appreciation to Team Federal and assure them and their families of the management's continued support. Going forward, I'm confident that your relentless efforts, dear employees of the bank, will drive our journey to greater success. The board members of your bank represent some of the best talent and expertise in their respective fields. In the last financial year, the board was strengthened with the addition of Ms. Varsha Purandare, former Deputy Managing Director and Chief Credit Officer and Chief Risk Officer of SBI. I also take this opportunity to place on record the valuable contribution of Ms. Subbalakshmi Panse, our former Independent Director from the year 2014 to 2020, for her immense contribution to the governance and overall growth of the bank. As Federal Bank grows its customer base, we expand our community reach. Our CSR initiatives are designed to create a more enabling environment for vulnerable sections of society, particularly amid the ongoing public health crisis. Our Sanjeevani campaign, India's biggest vaccine promotion drive by a private sector entity, bears testimony to our commitment to health, safety, and well-being of communities. By taking everyone along, we aim to contribute to a more equal, inclusive, healthier, and financially empowered society. In closing, on behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to thank each member of the federal team, led by MD and CEO Mr. Srinivasan, for their vision, commitment, and hard work, which have made the bank we are today. Thank you, valued customers and shareholders, for your faith in your bank. We look forward to continuing the journey to take the bank to greater heights with your support. And please stay safe, stay strong. Thank you. Take care. Now, may I request our MD and CEO, Mr. Shyam Srinivasan, to address the shareholders.
Thank you, Mrs. Koshi. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is keeping safe and very well. It is my privilege to address this gathering. Virtual AGMs have now become order of the day, but we do want to make this an opportunity to reach out to many more of our shareholders across the length and breadth of the country. This year, we are airing our AGM live on many social media applications, Facebook, YouTube, Clubhouse, Twitter. So we are using this opportunity to reach out to many more and also use this as an opportunity to prove that we can constantly innovate in any situation. To begin with, I'd like to express my gratitude to our board and all our stakeholders for their continued support. It is your faith in us that has helped us brace all odds and emerge relatively unscathed. As rightly mentioned by our chairperson, it is the power of collective resilience, grit, and agility of our workforce that made performance in such difficult times appear relatively seamless. The numerous awards that were conferred on us in the previous year are all outcomes of the dedication of the entire staff and support of all our stakeholders. I do think this is one more proof of the theme, the future of digital is human. Allow me to share some of the highlights of FY21. Financially, we could deliver many of the ambitious goals that we had set for ourselves for FY21, despite a challenging macro environment. Our business, like our chairperson pointed out, has crossed 3 lakh crores, ended March 21 at 3,04,523 crores, marking a 10.91% growth over the previous year. And our net profit at 1,590.330 crores also was an all-time high. I think our strategy has been one of commitment to grow a secured credit portfolio, to pursue quality over quantity, while we ensure our liabilities remain organic and granular. This, I think, has helped us keep our consumption of capital quite prudent, and has also helped us ensure our asset quality are amongst the highest in the industry. At 1.1% net NPA, we would feature in the top quartile of banks in India in terms of the asset quality. We also used the year to increase our provision coverage ratio up from 53.39% to 65.14%, while we made sure our capital adequacy remained strong at 14.62% and our net worth increased to 16,123.61 crores. Most notable for the year was the consistent performance on ensuring that the continuous improvement in our liability profile, helped by very many initiatives, but importantly, our sharp and meaningful growth in high teens in the area of corporate salary program, a very successful high net worth premium banking through the Celesta program, and a good growth in the government deposits. These are new and important areas that are emerging to be prominent and dominant as we go ahead into FY22 and beyond. NR deposits really are bulwark. This continued to be so strong even through what could arguably be the toughest year, with more than 1 trillion rupees coming in as remittances, making our position even stronger to closer to 17.5% of India's remittances came through Federal Bank. To increase our presence and dominance in this space, we have expanded our arrangements with 3 new countries, the USA, UK, and New Zealand. We launched our credit card for the first time, a much awaited credit card in FY21 for our staff, and in the quarter succeeding that, it's open to our customers. It's the first of its kind, truly digital offering. Just 3 clicks and an existing customer who is eligible can get the credit card on their Fed mobile, and then follow that with the physical card arrives at the customer's place. And we've started rolling out this in this quarter, and we do hope by end of calendar 21, a large part of our existing customers will be proud owners of this credit card. I did mention in our last year that in FY19, we started our foray into the commercial vehicle and commercial equipment business. We made good progress, but we had to be a little more watchful of the fact that FY21 wasn't conducive for extreme growth. We were careful, but we've had very strategic tie-ups with large-scale OEMs such as the Tata Motors, Mahindras, and the Daimler India. Likewise, our business banking focus has been very encouraging. We booked over 11,000 new customers, 11,000 plus new loans in FY21, of which 22% were from new to bank customers, and this was both through the entire branch network becoming active despite the pandemic challenges, but also an array of relationship managers who have got into the field to go out and originate new business. And I do believe as we go into FY22, this should scale up quite meaningfully in the theme of trying to reach out to the large unbanked, underserved market, which we believe is an opportunity we should pursue. Our partnership with Equirus Wealth has started gaining traction. We could double our revenues in FY21 compared to the previous year. FedServe, our operations service company, 100% subsidiary of the bank, is now a meaningful contributor to our entire operations process, and they turned in a revenue of about 26 crores and a net profit higher than the previous year at about 1.84 crores. FedFina, the NBFC of the bank, has done extremely well in FY21. They grew their profits and their profits by about 48% YOY, and the credit book grew 23%. This in a very challenging time when they kept their gross and net NPO well below 1%. As you may have observed, the heart of what we've been doing is trying to stay granular and smaller ticket and scale up. So on both sides of the balance sheet, retail deposits of the bank at 90% of overall deposits, and the core deposits constitute 98%, arguably the best in terms of any bank in the country, and our retail asset portfolio is now at 54%. In my speech last year, I mentioned about three themes: simple, digital, and contactless. I do think we've tried to stay quite true to that with the launch of many digital initiatives in the face of the toughest pandemic that any of us have seen in our lifetime. We used the pandemic as an opportunity to present simple and digital solutions to customers. Be it Fed Swagat, it's a very easy way of customers coming into the branch with a pre-appointment so they don't have to stand in queues, or the ability to do video account opening and all of it in 3 minutes, or we meet an opportunity for the non-resident Indian customers ability to reach to our RMs over a video call and get their banking done. So I think the theme of simple, digital, and contactless played out through these examples of Fed Swagat, VAO, and We Meet. Last year, we also integrated our mobile banking app, FedBook, and Beam UPI into one single application and transformed it into an omnibus banking application. As a result, our transactions that are digital are well over 85%. In fact, 86% was the exit rate of March 21 in terms of the number of transactions that are happening digitally. You may have observed in our annual report, the theme of the annual report, I hope you met FEDI, which is our virtual AI-powered digital assistant. In fact, today, the bank has launched a microsite where you could go in and talk to our friendly FEDI, who is actually the face of a digital federal, and ask questions and answers instantly. So the era of AI and led by FEDI is the theme which we hope to propagate as we go into FY22 and beyond, and give the face of the technology, give technology a face in the form of FEDI. Our leading edge digital capabilities make us a much sought after bank for the fintech community. It has particular appeal to some of the new banks. Our tie-up with Epify has generated a buzz, and I'm quite confident that this will have appeal to a lot of millennials who will soon be Federal Bank customers. It's hyper-personalized and frictionless savings and investment services. Mrs. Koshi mentioned about great place to work. For us, the safety and well-being of our employees has always been of paramount importance. During the pandemic, we introduced a large-scale transition from traditional co-located work to remote work with the adoption of work from anywhere policy, and also invoked travel restrictions and put in protocols on where we meet and comprehensive list of events and meetings that can be conducted to ensure people remain safe. Additionally, numerous welfare measures were introduced to ensure our employees are taken care of financially and emotionally. Probably all this underscored our credential of being an employee-friendly organization and got us the tag of Great Place to Work. Even through this period, we recruited welcomed over 500 new employees into the bank, and all of it digitally. Corporate social responsibility. As a responsible corporate citizen, it is our commitment to contribute to society. This year was no different. Our major focus was to support the community around us, especially those impacted by the pandemic quite materially. At the outbreak of COVID-19, we created a capability for employees and well-wishers to contribute voluntarily, and the bank could match up a similar sum. In a short span, well over 1 crore was received, and this was disbursed to the people in the most needy parts who were stuck in different locations, needed food, needed assistance for travel. In an effort to support people affected by the pandemic, we launched mobile ATMs in many geographies, notably Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, where we could reach out to many and give them the comfort of not having to step out or go to a bank branch or to an ATM far away, but withdraw cash in their housing societies or in locations very close to where they live. On World Health Day, we embarked on India's biggest vaccine promotion drive, Sanjeevani, a shot of life, along with our partner Network 18. This is to help overcome vaccine hesitancy, to encourage more people to voluntarily go out and vaccinate themselves. This program, I am delighted to share, is gaining traction. We're covering 5 districts across the country. Close to 4,000 villages are part of these districts, and we're taking 500 villages and reaching out to everybody in those locations. And well over 1.5 lakh people have been advised, and they have been taken to camps, and vaccination program is gaining ground as we speak. Not only that, we made sure that we were able to give refrigeration capability for storage of vaccine in Maharashtra. We were able to create a special code along with National Health Mission and about a 100-bed hospital in Alua. The future of digital is human. Redefining human experience the digital way has been our constant goal for quite a while now. We are and will continue to look ahead, adapt and transform, true to our motto of being digital at the fore, human at the core. We quite optimistically believe that we will emerge stronger, having overcome many challenges when we get to the other side of this hopefully once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. Our values of culture and compassion and purpose of becoming the most admired bank will remain our signpost. We will also continue to efficiently allocate our resources and attention towards the twin themes of presence to prominence and prominence to dominance. While we broaden our horizon and accelerate progress, we will focus on reaching India's underbanked and underserved with our neo-banking partnerships and a purpose of inclusive finance. We're constantly innovating and deploying unique differentiators in our endeavor to transform the small business across the country. The stakes are high for small businesses in India as they're the future and make up most of the industrial fabric of our country. We are co-creating digital enablers for these businesses to make them more sustainable and efficient. Our renewed commitment to democratize financial services using hybrid digital instruments for small businesses and deeper geographies will narrow the digital gap and deliver tangible results soon. We won't stop there. This year, our digital bandwagon will become faster, smoother, and bigger. Along with these, we will continue to address the pressing issues such as environmental sustainability and economic inequality, and these will be the crux of our governance goals going ahead while we nurture this digitally empowered ecosystem. It is imperative that humans remain at the core or to accentuate the impact. We believe banking is not just built on technology, but on trust. That's why I keep saying the future of digital is human. Green, granular, and digital. Our chairperson spoke about our ESG journey. As a bank, we are redefining and transforming our approach for sustainable value creation, as going green is no longer a choice but an absolute necessity. As a franchise, we now plan to create a framework of stability by linking, aligning, and mainstreaming our goals of green, granular, and digital. We are sure this will create long-term value and help foster innovation and respond to changing customer preferences. Acknowledgements. I'd like to once again express my gratitude to our eminent board members for guiding and supporting us through these challenging times. It makes a huge difference when you have a board that supports all bona fide efforts and guides us continuously to stay on course. I consider it as a privilege to have a team of extremely committed and passionate colleagues who are all driven by the deep focus on building the most admired bank. My thanks to all of them. In closing, I'd like to place on record our sincere thanks to the Government of India, Reserve Bank of India, SEBI, various state governments and regulatory authorities in India and overseas for their valuable guidance, support and cooperation, and all our stakeholders for their trust and patronage. Thank you, and I remain proud to be a federal. I once again want to recall with fond memories and gratitude and pray for the departed, many of our colleagues who passed away and the family members, and I do extend my personal prayers and gratitude to all of them. Thank you very much. Have a good year.
Thank you, Shyam, for that inspiring sharing of vision and goals and performance of the bank. We are all deeply impressed by the kind of initiatives the bank has taken during the year and the years past, and look forward to more of this coming in the years ahead. It's now time for the speaker shareholders who are already registered to express their opinions and seek clarifications on matters related to the bank. May I request all our speaker shareholders to cooperate while expressing their views so as to give all the others sufficient time to speak today. Members can also post their views or questions on the tab Ask a Question on their video conference screen. Now it's over to them to take this meeting forward.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We will now begin the question and answer session. Registered speaker shareholders are requested to unmute their audio and video when their name is announced to ask a question. The first question is from Paulus Parakal. Please go ahead.
Yes. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Respected Chairperson, board members, Shyam sir, Khajuria sir, Shalini madam, my fellow shareholders. First, I would like to congratulate our board for the excellent working results presented before us. Our total business have grown by 11% to 3,04,523 crores. Our operating profit have increased by 18%, and our CRAR is at a comfortable 14.62%. Till last year, I was addressing this meeting as a serving federal. From now on, I attend our AGM as an ex-federal, as I have retired from active service of our bank on May 31st. Anyway, during the reporting period, I was a serving federal, and I am also responsible for this year's fresh NPA of 1,921.9 crores on advances reported here. I was also in the team which could ensure 3.16% and an effective spread of 3.75% on advances. I am proud I was in the team which followed our motto of digital at the fore and human at the core to achieve the Great Place to Work certification. Figures have already been discussed here. May I go to some points in the report? While operating profit increased by 18%, net profit could increase by 3% only. I think it was because of the outcome of provisioning. On the revenue front, the main contributor is retail loans. Gold loans have contributed much. It has increased by 70%. And we have to concentrate more on the field deployment of our workforce in the present economic situation, I think. I mean, more hands at the counters to have an edge over our competitors. In the last AGM, Shyam sir had replied that we will grow organically and open more branches also. Report shows an increase of only 9 branches this year. I hope we will consider opening more branches in the coming days. I request board to consider some small towns of Kerala also as the gold loan portfolio gain importance nowadays. Out of the total other income of 1,944.91 crores, income from insurance business is only 82 crores, just 4.2%. I think it is time to change our priorities. There is an item in the report, provision for fraud account, 188 crores. I think it is not a small amount. We have a special resolution before us for preferential allotment of 10 crores 48 lakh 46,394 equity shares at an issue price of 87.39 to IFC, IFC FIG, IFC EAF. I have gone through the notes given with the AGM notice. It is explained that no change in control in the bank will happen consequent to the preferential issue. But it is very clear that post allotment, IFC will have 5% holding in the bank, and there will be the now it is the Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund followed by ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund. Further, an agreement is made with the IFC for preferential allotment. My quote, one of the key aspects of the agreement, the investors being a partner, a collaborator with the company would be provided with certain information reports on the company's performance on social and environmental factors in compliance with the applicable law. I would like to know whether board considered minority shareholders like me while processing investment proposal of IFC. Another resolution for raising 4,000 crores through issue of shares is there. Our shares has enough charm in the domestic market. Please come out with the right issue which will be well accepted. Being a federal, I wish to point out two things from federal's view. We have to find out some solution for this late sitting at the offices during this pandemic period. After my retirement, I was driving through Alva at 7:30 in the evening to collect some medicine during more branches with the shutters open up and lights up on till I reached my home. As per our report, of the 12,592 total employees, 40% are ladies. When they get home late in the night, they have to care their children and aged parents. It is too risky. Sure, Federal Bank will do risky business, but we can't risk the precious lives of our federals. We have already lost 10 to the virus. We can't afford any more. Report gives details of bank's COVID care for our employees. I would like to request our board to consider some improvements in COVID package for employees like ex gratia payments, reimbursement of routine RT-PCR antigen tests for self and family members necessitated while working at the counters. ESOS is continued this year also. I am very happy to know that. I am very much happy that we have spent the entire amount of 35.22 crores CSR funds, out of which 15.35 crores was utilized for funding the vaccination awareness campaign mentioned by Shyam sir, and 9.08 crores was much needed help for the COVID burdens. As Shyam sir says in his message, just mentioned in his message, we will continue to address the pressing issues such as environmental sustainability and economic inequality. Thank you, Samir, for giving me the chance, and thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from KV Vishwamohanan. Please go ahead.
Good morning, respected Chairperson, Mrs. Greshi Koshi, and MD, Mrs. Srinivasan, sir, and other distinguished dignitaries of the board. I am really excited to be a part of this August AGM as an investor. My connection with this bank starts from the year 1978 onwards as a customer. Being from the customer, that association inspired me to be an investor. And I'm happy to watch the progress of the bank and with its work and the working style with the devoted and committed officers and all the employees. I'm really proud. And I'm really proud to see the community services of the bank, especially during this pandemic period. I'm really proud. And regarding this, being a customer and being a stakeholder, I got 3 questions, sir. Please, I'll brief it shortly. Here, I have been seeing for the last 3 years, our bank's share value is starting between 80 to 90 rupees only, comparing to other financial institutions. Of course, it was 54 in the year 2020. We know that due to pandemic, it has come regain up to 85. But my question is, if I invest further, when can I expect a good return from the bank? That is one of my question. And another pressing issue is, I am a customer as well as I am representing a Seafood Exporters Association of India, sir. And most of the members, I think 50% of the members are the customers of the Federal Bank. But Federal Bank have not made any facility for their customers to remit the government payments like income tax, GST and other services through their Federal Bank. Bank was issuing NOC for the customer to operate an account with other banks for this purpose. Now, you know very well, you may be doing something. RBI has made it compulsory and all other banks are insisting our members, including me, either you close the account or do the transaction partially with us also. So my request to the board is to see this issue as seriously and find a solution at the earliest. Otherwise, there will be a chance of dropping your customers, sir. And other thing I want to bring to the board, this thing, for the last 40 years of my association with bank, I can witness that the Federal Bank has done an outstanding job of establishing personal commitment with each of its customers. It was fantastic, sir. Our MD's slogan was simple, digital and contactless. But it was widely accepted and with appreciation, which was widely accepted. But my request is now the contact with the customers has narrowed. Only with the personal managers, only relationship managers are there. But if you widen the relationship, the bank will grow much more prominence. This is my request as a customer of the bank for the last 3 years. I wish the bank to gain confidence and dominance not only through India but globally. I am sure the present committee, present board can do that before the centenary celebration of the Federal Bank. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vishwamohan. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Krishnan PS. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Just want to confirm you're able to see me and as well as hear me well.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. I'd like to start by saying a good day to the Federal Bank Board and management team. My name is Krishnan. I'm based in Chennai. I'd like to compliment the bank on the good performance in FY 2021, despite COVID and the challenges associated with COVID. For me, the big positives are the limited asset quality stress, growing CASA, gold loan book growth, acceleration in digitization, fintech partnerships, and our growing asset granularity and growing retailization. In my views, areas for improvement for a bank includes increasing the return on equity and return on assets that have always been stagnant at the same number over the last several years. My view is the shareholders' value creation has not kept pace with the progress made by our bank and the good work and results of our bank over the last few years. Though value creation is a function of the equity market, not something which that bank can control, I'd like to know what is the feedback that Federal Bank is receiving from institutional investors and capital market experts around the bank's strategy, performance, growth areas that can further accelerate value creation for our shareholders. And what is the bank's management as well as the board's view on shareholders' value creation strategy and the steps taken to accelerate value creation for shareholders? My second query is the second wave of COVID as well as a potential third wave could potentially result in significant stress for our bank. I'd like to get your view in terms of how well is a bank positioned to manage asset quality stress as well as any expected credit losses arising out of the impact of the second and potential third wave without resorting to significant fund or capital raising exercise that can dilute shareholders' value despite the provision cover that we have. The third query which I wanted to ask was, there's been an explosion of neobanks and fintechs and other related disruptions in the banking, lending, and financial space, which can potentially make the concept of a branch of physical infrastructure-led banking redundant, though not in its entirety in the near future. We've been entering into partnerships and alliances with fintechs and other NBFCs, including co-lending models. Despite the good work done by our bank, do you feel that we are keeping pace with the disruptions and the dynamic developments and the new business models in the fintech and lending space? And my last question is, I've been noticing that there's been an ongoing structural transition within Federal Bank, moving away, if I may use a phrase, or for want of a better phrase, from an old generation regional bank to a new generation bank. As a shareholder, I can see a strengthening of a bank's capabilities, especially around the digital space. I'd like to know how is this transition percolated on ground amongst frontline employees? What has been the impact and the results? How does the bank measure, minus excluding training and skill development, that the frontline employees are in line with the bank's transition journey, and what has been the results in terms of business and profits per employee? These are my queries and my comments. Thank you very much, and my best wishes to the board and the management team. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you. The next question is from Surendranath Kapoor. Please go ahead.
नमस्कार साहब. हेलो.
नमस्कार.
सर मैं हिंदी में अपना हाँ सर मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ.
You can publish your webcam.
सर थोड़ा सा इधर नेटवर्क का इश्यू रुकिए, मुझे थोड़ा रिसीविंग एरिया में आना होगा, या मैं अपनी बात रखूं. श्याम साहब अभी अर्लियर जो हाँ सर श्याम साहब अभी जो अर्लियर जो साहब ने पॉइंट रखा जो काफी क्रेडिबल है, वो है इन्वेस्टर के लिए वैल्यू क्रिएशन आइडिया and value creation for investors investing in banks. So over a period of time, what investors have observed and have seen that banking have not contributed in wealth creation. Whether if you leave the top notch of Kotak, HDFC, and ICICI, other smaller banks have not been creator of wealth for investors. Although, sir, by your performance have been improved by leaps and bounds, that is वो आपके numbers में clearly दिख रहा है. उसके उपरांत भी हमें वो वैल्यू नहीं मिलती है, वो बुक वैल्यू के हिसाब से भी वो वैल्यूएशन नहीं मिलती है, दूसरे बैंक को मिलती है. तो कमी कहाँ पर है हमारे वर्क में? आप बताते हैं कि आप सब चीजों में एक नॉच अप हैं सारी ट्रेजेक्ट्री में, तो कहाँ पर अभी भी काम करना रह गया है, बाकी रह गया है, जिसके कारण से सर शेयर होल्डर्स को कुछ वैल्यू नहीं मिलती है? इस पर सर उल्लेख कीजिए सर. और सर ये जो इक्विटी डाइल्यूशन हुआ है अभी आपने जो IFC को दिया है, वो भी सर 87 के प्राइस में हुआ है. आई थिंक सो अभी अपनी जो प्राइस टू बुक अगर होगी तो शायद वन टाइम पे आपने किया है. एक्सपेरिमेंट था वन टाइम में भी हमें डाइल्यूट करने का. हम आगे जाके भी जब हमारे कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी रेशियो सफिशिएंट थे, हमारे प्रोविजन कवरेज रेशियोज ठीक हैं, हमारी एसेट प्रोफाइल बढ़िया है, हमारे एनपीएस कंट्रोल में है, तो क्या क्या सर हमारे ऊपर वो जिसे कहा जाए कंपल्शन था इस समय इक्विटी डाइल्यूट करने का? क्योंकि 87 के प्राइस में आपने जो इक्विटी डाइल्यूट की, जो एग्जिस्टिंग इन्वेस्टर्स हैं उनकी भी वैल्यू तो डाइल्यूट होती ही है सर। इसका ये मेरी धारणा है, आप इसे जितना क्लैरिफाई कर सकें तो वो बढ़िया रहेगा सर। अगर सर गोल्ड लोन के पोर्टफोलियो की बात की जाए तो सर पढ़ने में ये आ रहा है अखबारों में कि काफी गोल्ड लोन पोर्टफोलियो अभी ऑप्शन हो रहे हैं। मैंने द पॉइंट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक इज दैट देयर इज लॉट ऑफ डिफॉल्ट फ्रॉम द साइड्स ऑफ द गोल्ड लोन अकाउंट्स। सो हाउ cushioned, how well are we cushioned, and how are we prepared that if things changes, gets murkier for gold loan as a portfolio, this is not going to be an issue of NP or an issue of botheration. Correct me, sir, on this front. I have read in newspaper that a lot amount of gold loans taken are turning sour. So just an understanding, since our dependence is on the higher side. And sir, you spoke about this artificial intelligence part of our FEDI and all. तो सर इससे सर किस प्रकार से आप एनपीए क्रिएशन में कैसे हस्तक्षेप ला सकते हैं? हाउ विल it led to the lowering of or the earlier recognition of accounts showing stress, so that going forward we would be able to know in future in hindsight that how these could have been turned around. And sir, these are the many points. And sir, last year, sir, we posted the highest numbers for in the history, if I'm not wrong. So, sir, how confident are you that on top of these numbers, we would be able to perform better, sir? I know, sir, it's a tough, sir. It's once you आप पहले अगर एक माइलस्टोन पहुंच जाते हैं, फिर उसको मेंटेन करना ही सर आपके लिए एक बड़ी क्रेडिबिलिटी का इशू बन जाता है। तो नंबर सर, हाईएस्ट नंबर्स तो हमने सुन लिए लास्ट ईयर के लिए। अब इनकी क्षमता, इन नंबर्स की क्वालिटी तभी मालूम चलेगी अगर हम इन नंबर्स को मेंटेन कर पाएंगे और इस पे ग्रोथ दिखा पाएंगे। तो सर आपकी टीम और आप कितने कॉन्फिडेंट हैं कि इस पर भी हमें ग्रोथ दिखने मिल सकती है श्याम साहब? और सर आप बाकी सर आप इन्वेस्टर्स का पूरा ध्यान रखते हैं, कॉन्फ्रेंस कॉल एंड ऑल हम लोग सुनते हैं, तो उसमें आप काफी अच्छा कवरेज कर देते हैं हमको, तो मैं ज्यादा समय नहीं लूंगा। लेकिन सर आप इस बात पे ध्यान दीजिए सर कि इन्वेस्टर्स ने पैसा आपके बैंक के शेयर्स में जो लगाया है उसे रिटर्न में क्या मिल रहा है? आज सर इक्विटी मार्केट का अगर इंडेक्स का अगर आप जस्ट एक सिंपल सा कैलकुलेशन देखिए कि किस प्रकार से सूचकांक में जो बढ़त आई है, उस हिसाब से बैंक का कोई कंट्रीब्यूशन, बैंक में कोई पार्टिसिपेशन नहीं रहा। तो सर हम लोग इन द हाइंडसाइड ये देख रहे हैं कि क्यों हमने अपना पैसा कमिट किया बैंकों में, जबकि सर बैंक की ग्रोथ से ही इकोनॉमी की ग्रोथ आएगी। We all know that with 2 trillion to 2.5 to 5 trillion economy, the banking, the credit output, the credit has to grow. Otherwise, this economy can't grow. But still, the confidence is not there, sir. तो सर अब आप देखिए सर क्या किया जा सकता है, आप आगे क्या स्टेप्स ले रहे हैं जिससे सर प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी मेंटेन रहे, हमारा डिविडेंड पे आउट बेटर रहे, हमें राइट वैल्यूएशन मिले सर। क्योंकि वैल्यूएशन जब राइट मिलेगी तो हम इन्वेस्टेड रहेंगे। हमें जहां वैल्यूएशन राइट नहीं मिलेगी सर, सभी व्यक्ति एक समय तक ही इन्वेस्टेड रहेंगे और बाद में सर वो वहां इन्वेस्ट करेंगे जहां उनका इन्वेस्टमेंट में रिटर्न बने। सर हमें आप पे फेथ है सर। आई थिंक सो द बेस्ट क्वालिटी बैंक वी हैव इन द कंट्री, वन ऑफ द बेस्ट क्वालिटी बैंक। तो सर इसे प्रमाण कीजिए आप वैल्यूएशंस में सही वैल्यूएशन में ये शेयर ट्रेड करे सर। इसके लिए आप अपना कार्यरत रहिए और ये सब दिखाइए अपने टेन्योर में कि ऐसा भी किया जा सकता है सर। बस सर इन्हीं बातों से मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूं सर, और धन्यवाद सर आपका सर मुझे ये मौका देने का सर। एंड ऑल द बेस्ट सर, आप सब स्वस्थ रहें सर। धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from Babu George Mazuancheri. Please go ahead.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good morning,
Yes, sir.
everybody. I am happy to attend this annual general body meeting. First of all, I congratulate the chairperson, managing director, and director board members for their splendid performance last year. Even though it is a COVID-affected year, I have already given a number of questions to the MD. Whether have you gone through it? Otherwise, I will read it again. How many loans written off for the year 2020-21. Total amount of loan written off. Out of which above 5 lakhs loan written off. How many loans above 5 lakhs written off? Name of the borrower's address and name of the branch sanctioned the loan and the sanctioning authority, security given, etc. Action taken against the sanction authority if it is becomes sticky. Second question, in the print media and social media and in the TV channels, there was a report that about rupees 58 crores loan was sanctioned to Ernakulam Angamali Archdiocese, a trust, without adhering the norms of the bank as well as Reserve Bank of India. There was reports that full value of the security is given as a loan for real estate business. Please inform how much amount of loan was granted, rate of interest, purpose of the loan, value of security given, what type of security given, land, building, gold, etc. Please explain. Who had signed the loan application, who had signed the loan papers, their name and address and their capacity to sign the loan paper. Since the borrower is a trust, whether trust deed is verified, whether notary certified copy of the trust deed is obtained, whether loan is closed, if not, how much amount is outstanding at present. This type of granting loans without adhering the RBI rules and their report in the media will tarnish the image and reputation of the bank. Whether director, board, chairperson, MD are aware of this loan. What action taken against the officials involved in this transaction? What precaution taken to avoid such type of transaction in future to protect the interest and image of the bank? Last year, there was no dividend on the pretext of COVID-19. This year also, a meager sum of 75 paise is declared as dividend. In view of the pandemic situation prevailing in the country and a number of ordinary and middle class shareholders' conditions are very pathetic, I again request the director board, chairperson and managing director to declare at least 1.50% as dividend, and also request the director board to consider issuing bonus shares for the shareholders. The shareholders, lot of shareholders are farmers and their producers are not getting adequate amount from the market. So to help the needy farmers is a necessity of the time. Also, I request your goodness to deliver one good quality oximeter to all shareholders who attended this general body, as well as the staff members and director board members, in view of the third wave of COVID-19 shortly approaching by October, to assess their oxygen rate. So consider these things favorably. Many medical experts informed that COVID will arrive by October 3rd, will arrive by October 2021. Hence, take all steps for the vaccination of director board members, officials, and employees of the bank on a war footing basis. There is a report in the media after powerful virus will create problem in old age people as well as children. Hence, take steps to vaccinate all the officials and employees and then family members. Please take steps to vaccinate the children also. Honorable MD, this term will end by September 2021. Whether board has taken any to extend this term for another 2 years. If that is not possible, please find out a suitable person with professionally experienced and people-friendly, shareholder-friendly managing director at the earliest. In this occasion, I express my sincere thanks and appreciation to the present MD for his valuable service to the Federal Bank as well as the shareholders for the last several years. I wish him all the best in the years to come. There is a report in the media that there is a drop in the deposit figures of Federal Bank for the first quarter of 2021-22. That is ending June 30th. Please inform me the deposit figures of June 30th this year, as well as the advance figure, as well as the NPA figure as on June 30th, 2021. And what steps to improve the deposit, advance, as well as reduction in NPA. And I have given yesterday another query to the board. I hope you might have gone through it. Please reply the same in the meeting. And I am expecting a favorable reply for all these my queries and request. The CSIR activities of the bank under the initiative of Sri Raju Farmish is commendable. His hard work and dedication for the benefit of the downtrodden is a very good example for others to follow. I again request the Director Board to increase the social activities in view of the pandemic situation in the country. Also request the Director Board to take earnest efforts to reduce the NPA as well as increase income growth. The income growth is beneficial not only to the staff and Director Board members, it will be beneficial to the shareholders if it is adequate share of the profit is given by giving good amount of dividend or by issuing bonus shares. I hope you will consider the request favorably. there is a report in the media about that the government is taking steps to increase the private banks. So there is a next 10 years will be very valuable for Federal Bank. You can play an important role as a leading private sector bank in the country. When the bank is celebrating 90th anniversary, you have not mentioned about our illustrious founder, late Sri Raju Hormis, late Sri K.P. Hormis' name, as well as the first general manager of Federal Bank, late Sri K.P. Cherian. In this occasion, my homage to that, to Sri K.P. Hormis, as well as to K.P. Cherian and other founder directors, as well as shareholders on this occasion. So consider this request. On this 90th anniversary, because of COVID, the general body expenses are reduced to very minimum. Last year also, you got a lot of profit by conducting this general body in the virtual forum. So give this, a share of this, you share with the shareholders and consider my request. With the best wishes, and I wish the MD all the best, as well as the chairperson, and also congratulate the 3 lady directors, and also request them take care of our employees, officials, as well as especially the lady employees. Late sitting the ladies in the office is not permissible under the present circumstances. So take all efforts to complete the work at least by 6:30 and leave the bank. This will be our motto. I hope the managing director will take all these things to his mind and implement. With the best wishes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Santosh Bhutani. Please go ahead.
So can I speak now?
Please go.
Very good, sir. Board members and team. First of all, I would like to thank the management for giving me an opportunity to put my views and question on the item of the agenda. Sir, my question is, what are the company strategy on the challenges and to counter competitive reform, next action plan, and asset quality and capital improvement? My next question is, what are the steps taken to strengthen the business and to contain the cost and reduce the impact prevailing pandemic? Next question is, what is your value creation roadmap to see our bank in the next financial year 22-23? Sir, plan bring the right issue or any other mode to raise the fund. Going through the recent journey of the, we are happy, but we are not contented at all, because the company has much more potential than what is delivered yet. We feel and believe that the company management is far in its thinking, in its strong in its commitment, more responsible. Sir, I would appreciate if you could briefly reply, and I wish the bank and management all the best for the future and hope to see a healthy growth in business and size bank in the coming time under your respected sir member. Sir, one thing that in high level secondary market, our share is trading only 80 to 85 rupees. Whereas other bank, they are performing very well. They are giving more appreciation, but our bank could not perform in this platform and return to the investor. I hope your good self will look at small interest and give best performance will help this bank to touch the high level in. Thank you very much, board member, management team, and each and every employee of our bank. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from Vasudha Dakwe. Please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me, sir? Hello.
Please, madam.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, if you can turn on your webcam, please.
Webcam is on. Hello. Very good morning, respected chairman, sir, board of directors, and my fellow shareholders. Myself, Vasudha from Thane. I would like to congratulate our company secretary for sending me the soft copy of the report well in advance, which itself is clear and transparent. I would like to ask, can you please throw some lights on our cyber security program, which is on page number 90? I saw, but I think there should be more cyber security programs should be given to all employees. With this, I support all the resolution. Thank you very much. Wish the bank all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
The next question is from Abhishek J. Please go ahead.
Yes. Can you hear me, sir? Unmute me, sir. Unmute me.
So you're in talk mode. You may please proceed.
Okay, you can hear me, sir. You can hear me now? You can hear me, sir. Can I start? Am I audible?
Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, my name
Please
is
go
Abhishek.
ahead.
Yes. My name is Abhishek, shareholder of the company. My DPID IN 301637 and client ID is 41359155. First of all, I congratulate the management on the eve of 90th annual general body meeting, sir. Trust all is well with you and your family in this challenging situation. Our bank deserves much more respect than the current market cap after completing more than a decade of successful operations, profitability, and becoming one of the strongest banks. And sir, I would like to know what's the real impact of COVID-19 in percentage term and how our business has been impacted for the past 1.5 years, and the coronavirus and subsequent lockdowns have left virtually no industry untouched after the COVID. So any employees we have sacked, hired, salary cut in percentage, if any, and any salary cut was being taken by the management, and what is the view of the management going forward? Sustainability of the profit earning growth will remain challenging in the coming quarters, and there is a RBI guideline also that previous first wave of COVID also we had to give moratorium to most of the borrowers, and even in the second wave also RBI has given instructions to provide moratorium and not to put pressure on the defaulters. So in such case, when banking has become a very difficult job, but even in that circumstances, the bank has overcome and the performance has improved. And for the comparing to the previous year, from 45-50 rupees, the share has moved up to 90 rupees. We are really glad, and we do appreciate the management, and we are thankful to the management for that. We would also like to know, sir, that what are the management efforts to improve the working capital sales ratio and all, the ROC, EBITDA, and what are the management efforts to conduct on call on quarterly presentation and meeting global investors on a regular basis, so that this will improve the image of the bank and we will get more customers. And bank can also start online facility of opening bank account in online itself, and online itself the KYC can be verified. Now certain banks have started doing that, and they are getting a very good response in this pandemic time, and they are also offering the demat accounts. So, and at a very meager charges of trading charges. So in that circumstances, they are getting more response. So our bank should ensure that we should not lose our customers, and we should also be competitive, and we should be providing the same facility what the other banks are doing, and we should empower in the years to come. And so if the bank can share the top 100 defaulters list with the investor fraternity, the bank can share the details, and any help from the shareholders also can be ascertained by the bank. And what are the efforts taken by the management to reduce the other expenses for legal professional charges and the audit fee in the years to come? And we can see that a lot of legal expenses are also being incurred by the bank. And so under such circumstances, how are we going to take up our NPA and recover the same in the years to come in this particular pandemic situation when first wave, second wave, third wave are going on? So under such circumstances, it is a very challenging job. And I would bring to your knowledge, sir, that myself and my team are running a legal firm in the name and style of Seven Wells Associates in Chennai, and we would be glad to extend our services to Federal Bank. So I would request Federal Bank to kindly add our firm in the empanelment of Federal Bank, and we will be glad to provide our services. So then, what is the policy related to dividend in our bank, sir? As most of the senior citizens are only dependent on that, and nothing much to ask, sir. I wish the bank and the board of directors a great success and prosperity in the coming future. Hope to see you in the physical AGM next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you. That was the last question.
Thank you all for the questions you've raised. Now may I invite our MD and CEO, Mr. Shyam Srinivasan, to respond to these queries, opinions and suggestions of the shareholders.
Ma'am, please allow us a minute here.
Yes.
We last heard Mr. Abhishek. Has there been anybody else after Mr. Abhishek?
No, she was the
Yeah.
last.
Okay. So do I go ahead and give a response to all our shareholders?
I think you
ahead?
respond. Yeah, please go ahead, Shyam. Please go.
Okay, thank you very much, and sincere apologies. This is the unfortunate part of technology failing us when we need it most. My apologies for that. There were 8 shareholders who spoke to us, and thank you very much, each of you, for bringing up important points. I'll try and give a response to all of them. There was Mr. Paulos who had asked us questions about a few areas. I do want to reassure Mr. Paulos, the bank that he was part of and will not go away from him. We will continue to perform as diligently and consciously as he's experienced our bank to be. There were many specific areas in terms of performance and progress. I think I can confirm that there is intense focus on all the areas, and there was an observation around late sitting. It's certainly not the endeavor of anybody to have staff sit late. There will be an odd occasion when either the situation demands or there has been some other reason for exigencies, but the norm is certainly not that. And being an ex-employee, you will appreciate that the bank takes employee welfare as a very crucial deliverable. Having said that, if there are areas that need more resourcing, we're acutely focused on that. Shareholder Vishwa Mohanan and a few others did point out commonly around the share price not having fetched them the right returns over the years. Here, as management and as a bunch of people through the board who perform and focused on performance, we have to continuously keep our head down and keep focusing on performance, which is what the bank has been done. And all of you have been very kind to appreciate that our performance has been continuously improving, be it on credit growth, be it on liability franchise, or importantly on the asset quality. Share price does not reflect that. I would only say that our job is to do our job very well, which we will seek to do continuously. And I'm convinced before long we will get the due recognition. About 3 years back, 4 years back, we were at about 125 rupees, which went down for a range of reasons, some of which are external. And more recently, at the COVID time, it went down to 38 and has climbed back to 85. As a team, as a management, as a board, keep faith and we keep focusing on the right areas. And all of you have guided us on areas that we should focus on. Shareholder callers pointed out fee income should go up. Others did mention about NPA should be kept under control. Certainly, these are areas of focus, and both me and the entire management is quite convinced that our efforts will bear fruit, and before long, we will see the stock get the due respect. But beyond that, as a leader of the team, as a management, we don't have great influence on producing outcomes like the share price movement. We are fondly hoping that our performance will get recognized. But it's a commitment of the entire team, like everybody in the shareholder community. Many of our employees too are shareholders, and they are acutely keen that their performance should count. So rest assured that our focus will continue to be to do the right things to take, to ensure that our shareholders get the benefit of our continued improvement. Shareholder Surendranath Kapoor, Mr. Vishwa Mohanan, shareholder Krishnan, Paulos, Mr. Abhishek, all did point out. So that's a common answer I would like to give to all our shareholders. Specifically, I think Mr. Babu George had made a mention on 2 things. I just want to confirm, sir, there is no diocese-related account of 58 crores that we have lent to. That may be some erroneous reporting. I can confirm that nothing to do with Federal Bank on that count. And in terms of the write-offs, the amounts are quite insignificant. We don't have too many 5 lakh plus cases done in this year. I think it's all of what, it's quite a small sum. So I can confirm that there is no significant instance on that. Having said that, the observation around quality and ensuring that we are acutely aware of disciplinary procedures, we can confirm that such practices are there, and anything that is errant is being advised and addressed appropriately. Shareholder Krishnan pointed out about the ROA and ROE, what are the plans, how are we going to make sure that the institution, what are institutional investors saying? Sir, I just want to mention that across the board, when we have interactions with our shareholders, be it institutional investors or even high net worth individuals who made material investments, most appreciate the quality of our book, most appreciate the granularity of our book. The puzzle does remain, why does the stock doesn't get traded at 2 times book or higher? And the conclusion often is consistency of performance, ensuring that quarter after quarter the progress is visible, and that the management is able to guide on a particular performance level and deliver that or even better, which is certainly the endeavor of the bank. But I do believe there is unfortunately no one magic bullet or one particular pill that we take which will take the stock up. So we will commit to being diligent about our task. The entire team, as you yourself observed, most of our shareholders have observed, the strength of the senior team, the strength of the entire bank, the quality, the governance standards by our board are all exemplar. We will keep that on continuous, and before long, the ROA and ROE expansion is only an outcome, which we are quite confident. In fact, last financial year, as you may have observed, we exited at an ROA of 1%, and our endeavor this year, COVID impact, of course, we have to visualize and deal with. We're seeking to work on similar or better numbers. In terms of the other aspects of dividend, we have delivered a strong year. We have taken our dividend based on our dividend policy and what the regulator permits us to do. We would have liked it to be higher, but then there are certain restrictions imposed on all banking institutions. But the endeavor, as you know, we have been a dividend track record of Federal Bank has been exemplar, except for last year, which was not permitted. We've had a continuous track of paying dividend. So in certainly we will ensure that our dividend track record doesn't fail, and we will seek to keep it going and improving. Shareholder Santosh Bhutani, we couldn't hear him very much, but I do think he talked about the strategy and the cost containment. Our expense management is quite tight. We do have some pensioning requirements, which unfortunately is not something that the bank has a direct control over. It's often dictated by where the yield curve is. So barring that, our expense management, driven largely by our digital efforts, driven largely by our centralization and standardization, has continuously improved. And that also addresses the question about employee business per employee and profit per employee. I can say that we are amongst the few banks that has seen a CAGR of almost 15% of business growth over the last 5-year period. And that employee count has been fairly well maintained. So business per employee has been going up almost at the same rate as our CAGR growth. And driven by productivity increases, driven by the various initiatives that the bank has done. There was a shareholder request around how do we know how the front end, what is the pulse of the field? How do we the digital journey get translated down to the field? I think we use the very objective of digital. We use digital to reach our employees right up to the front. So there are very many communication methodologies which ensure that the bank's journey is abundantly clear. We have a reasonably flat communication structure where any employee has an opportunity to express his or her ideas, voice, innovative suggestions, and all of that are taken through very formal mechanisms to digest and put in place. Some of the initiatives like Fed Swagat or the video account opening are all initiatives driven coming out of the field, giving those inputs, and that's how this development has happened. A shareholder pointed out, I think Mr. Abhishek pointed out, that there are banks that are doing instant demat and video account opening. Sir, that very bank that is doing pioneered it is Federal Bank. We pioneered the Insta Demat with CDSL. We pioneered video account opening, and not only video account opening, even video meets for customers. So we are mindful of that. We will take all the feedback given by our shareholders and ensure that the progress is monitored and tracked to close. Our journey is, as I've pointed out this year, focused sharply on building on the theme of simple, digital, contactless, but we are aware that the future belongs to green, more granular and digital. So all this is something that we'll continuously focus on, taking on feedback of all our shareholders. There was a question on cyber security. Madam, there are numerous ways to encourage our shareholder staff to get acquainted with cyber security, be aware and own matters around that. Every employee, starting from me, has to ensure that we pass the tests that are required. Our board, including all of the board members, have attended an orientation conducted by an industry body. So the entire bank, right from the chairperson of the board to the last employee, is in some form exposed to training and consistent reinforcement on this very crucial aspect. And we do take on board your input, and that's something that is an ongoing journey. So in closing, Chairperson, we can confirm that our shareholders' inputs have been noted. Where we've not been able to respond directly, we will share with them the feedback on an offline basis. But the common theme of performance, I can guarantee, as a management team, as a board, as a bank, we are determined to keep the performance going consistently. We don't believe, when I mentioned in my speech also, I said we don't believe in erratic, let's make hay while sun shines mode. Ours is a consistent, high quality performance bank with integrity behind our numbers. And I'm happy to suggest that our numbers have never been, even the chairperson spoke right at the front, auditors had no issues around our numbers. So happy to state that our performance will be consistent, steady, and we'll keep pursuing this journey on an ongoing basis. And hopefully when I gather with you all next year, this time, we are in a position to say our efforts have borne fruit and the share is reflecting our performance. So thank you very much, and I respect all the feedback given. We will work on each another. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Shyam. And incidentally, there was a shareholder who was concerned about Shyam continuing. May we assure you that the board stands with Shyam and has recommended his full term to the Reserve Bank. So we are equally happy to see the bank under the leadership of our MD and CEO, Mr. Shyam Srinivasan. This brings us to the last segment of our meeting, which is we are now fast approaching. Once again, apologies for a short little delay we had in between. We are very grateful to the 142 shareholders who participated in this AGM and 8 of you who kindly agreed to come and share your thoughts and views. Thank you so much for your active participation. I would like to also extend my sincere thanks to all my colleagues on the board for the smooth conduct of this meeting. Let me extend wholehearted thanks to you all, the valuable customers of the bank, the shareholders and the employees for their continuing support. Wishing you, each one of you, the very best of health and life. And now let me invite our Executive Director, Mr. Ashutosh Khajuria, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, Ashutosh.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, all. Respected Chairperson, Madam Grace Koshi, MD and CEO, Mr. Shyam Srinivasan, honorable directors on the board, esteemed shareholders, ladies and gentlemen. The 90th Annual General Meeting of the bank is coming to a successful conclusion. With the patronage and support of our shareholders, customers and employees, we could have a decent performance in a year full of unforeseen challenges and obstacles, particularly for the banking sector. A creditable achievement indeed, about which all of us can be proud of. It is my pleasant privilege to thank all those who have been instrumental to make this meeting a success. Our chairperson, Madam Grace Koshi, presided over the meeting. She is well known to most of you. Her commitment and leadership has been invaluable. With her past rich experience with Reserve Bank of India and her present and past engagements with global entities, she brings on board the best global practices in governance and a wider perspective with which a regulator views the performance and operations of the bank. On behalf of all the shareholders, directors, and all those participating in this meeting, I extend my hearty thanks to our chairman, Mrs. Grace Koshi. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Ashutosh. Thank you. Our MD and CEO, Mr. Shyam Srinivasan, has been leading the organization since September 2010, nearly 11 years now. He has been leading the bank with a missionary zeal to turn it into the most admired bank and has successfully brought in transparency, openness, and the contemporary best practices. He is determined and dedicated to make this bank equal for all the stakeholders. May they be shareholders, customers, employees, or even these other members of the society. The excellent results which we all witness now is a reflection of his relentless pursuit to take the bank to greater heights. Under his leadership, the bank has grown to nearly 1,300 branches and is amongst the top 7 private sector banks in terms of top line and profitability, while upholding its heritage and values laid down by our late founder, Mr. K.P. Hormus. The Mool Sutra and Mantra visualized by articulated to the team Federal is encapsulated in the acronym DFHC, Digital at the Fore and Human at the Core. And a firm belief in the future of digital human. His vision to make our bank as first choice for all the stakeholders is a path on which the entire team Federal is committed to tread. I thank you, sir, for your leadership and wish you a long and more successful ahead. Our board of directors have rich and varied experience in the fields of governance, regulation, bank, accounting, investment banking, risk management, payment and settlement systems, international banking, MSME, agriculture, and information technology. All of them, as a team, bring on board the highest level of professionalism needed to run a bank of the modern age. Thank you, madams and sirs, for all your guidance and contribution. It is mainly the support and patronage of shareholders that gives us the confidence for future. While thanking the fraternity of shareholders for their unstinted support, I especially thank all those who have taken pains to participate in the meeting, given the current constraints. Bank's customers are our strength and our motivation. The existence is because of its customers and for its customers. To all our extremely valued customers spread across the states in India and across the countries globally, I extend my heartfelt thanks for patronizing the bank through these challenging times. It is our employees who have built the bank through their hard work. To all the employees of the bank, and especially to all those who have been risking their lives in these extremely difficult times, have put in exemplary efforts to ensure the normal running of day-to-day banking operations in the service of our esteemed customers. I extend my thanks also to those staff members who have ensured the smooth conduct of this AGM as well. My sincere gratitudes to ex-directors and ex-employees who are participating in this digital meeting. Several of our shareholders, customers, and employees have borne the brunt of this pandemic, either directly or their family members. I and all my colleagues on the board offer our heartfelt condolences to those who have lost their loved ones to this pandemic. I take this opportunity to thank our statutory central audit teams of Messrs. Verma and Messrs. Borkar and Majumdar, and to all the branch statutory auditors on behalf of the shareholders, board of directors, the management team, and all the officials and employees of the bank who have been interacting with their teams for a smooth but highly professional conduct of audits. Bank has been receiving good encouragement from the press and media. I thank all the members of the print and electronic media who have been covering our bank all through the year, and some may be participating to cover this event. I thank NSDL for enabling the user-friendly e-voting platform. I also thank Chorus Call for the efforts taken for all to participate. Once again, thanking all of you, I conclude. I wish all of you a very sound health. Stay safe, stay healthy. My heartfelt thanks to all.
Thank you so much, Ashutosh. That almost brings us to the end of this day's activities. We thank you all for attending this meeting, and we declare the proceedings closed. Stay safe, take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dear members, as instructed by the scrutinizers, we request all the members participating in the AGM to cast their vote. Please note, e-voting will be open for the next 30 minutes. Thank you.